Hi guys, and welcome back to another DrAce video, and today we're going to be playing Monster Energy Supercross 4. The latest and brand new game from Milestone is finally here, and we get to try out AMA Monster Energy Supercross once more. Now, I'm a big fan of the other games. I really enjoyed playing them all. I think I have the Platinum Trophy on every single one apart from number 3. And of course I won't be getting the Platinum because I'll be playing this on PC now. Now, my feelings so far, I am thrilled to say, it's exactly what I wanted it to be. It's really good. The AI is extremely competitive, the game looks fantastic. I'm going to show you the other helmet cam, or at least the other cameras in a moment's time, just so you can see how visually good this game looks. It looks stunning, there's a lot going on, there's a lot of different colours, lights. It really nails the feeling of the Monster Energy Supercross series. I am really impressed with this game so far. The helmet cam is by far the most superior way to play this game. It looks phenomenal. Your helmet gets dirty, your goggles get visibly impacted by all the dirt, and now it gets caked on there, there's a few scratches. It looks terrific. The only downfall, of course, is the third-person camera. It looks a bit janky, a bit like MXGP 2020's does, but it feels great. I could still play this game in third person, but I won't because I ultimately want to use the helmet cam. But I can honestly say I have got nothing but great things to say about this game so far. This is a little bit subjective in my opinion, but this game feels next-gen. Now, compared to Ride 4, MXGP 2020, they still feel a little bit last-gen, or current-gen if you will, where this one feels like a next-gen experience. Like, this is what we're going to be seeing in the future. This is the step forward for Milestone games, and I can honestly say I am really impressed. The overlay looks great. You know, you can see who's on the left-hand side of your screen, who's going to be roughly situated near your position. The bottom left-hand corner, the map looks terrific. The signage and just everything looks great. I'm really impressed with it so far, I honestly am. The customization's pretty decent as well. Of course, it's not to the levels of like Ride 4, but it's still pretty nice. I'm impressed. I can honestly say I'm really impressed. Even just upon turning the game on and listening to the soundtrack and seeing the menus, it looks great. I can honestly say I'm really pleased. I'm really happy about this game so far. Of course, I will be doing a more in-depth look in an actual review. But for the time being, I just wanted to do a quick first impressions, just to give my opinions and just see if it's actually worth it. Because I imagine there's a lot of you on the fence currently at the minute. Is it going to be like MXGP 2020? Do you wait till MotoGP 21 comes? Because that's only a month away. Ultimately, I would say get this just for another month or something, and then MotoGP 21 will be out. I don't know much about the Supercross series compared to likes of MXGP and MotoGP and Superbikes, for example. But I do know a couple of the riders, and I have followed them for years, and I must say, they've done a good job. They really have. The face scans are pretty good as well. It's never been Milestone's territory to get really good, accurate face scans, but they're pretty decent for what so far. The presentation's great, the bikes feel awesome, the tracks are pretty accurate as well. I'm impressed. Thumbs up for me so far. So moving on to Heat 1 using Ken Roxon on board the Honda in Anaheim, waiting for the grids to drop. And that is not a bad start, could have been so much better, but for the time being it's still decent. Currently in 4th place, going up into 1st place. Can we take the whole shot? We do indeed take the whole shot, going into turn 1 of Anaheim. Very good stuff so far, as we get a bit of a lead going here, following the flow of the track. Now, the way it works in AMA Supercross, if you're not familiar, is basically the top 20 qualifiers go into one session, and then another top 20 qualifiers go into another session. And basically the idea is to try and find out who are the best competitors to make the actual race itself. So the way it starts off is in qualifying, all 40 riders will compete. 9 or 11 of them go into one session, and another 11 go into another session, and ultimately, if you didn't manage to make the top 9 of Heat 1 or Heat 2, you then go into a last chance qualifier race to finally qualify for the final race. I really love how they do it in a Supercross. It's very different, it's very unique, but it obviously keeps you on your toes. Now, I'm not going to spend too long in Heat 1 because this race is actually quite an easy one for me. We get out to the front and just keep churning out the lap times. I felt great to be in it. I got really into the zone actually. I didn't even know what was going on. And sooner or later, I got scared by the sound of the siren to let us know that the Grand Prix was over. So Heat 1, Heat 2, and last chance qualifying, of course, is very different to MXGP, so this one is not going to really drag on, but let's move on to the main event and let's show you the presentation of the celebration of Supercross 4. So as you can see, in the Angel Stadium of Anaheim 1, absolutely beautiful look. You can see all the signage, all the sponsorships, The fireworks look great. The density of the crowd looks awesome. It's more of a celebration of Supercross than an introduction. I like it. I'm really feeling at home with this one. Quick look at Ken Roczen on board his Honda. Bit of a celebration for him. It's a celebration for us all. I'm really impressed with this so far. It looks great. And of course, a familiar sight with the grid girl, the gorgeous grid girl with the Monster Energy signs. 22 riders made the cut for this Grand Prix. Who's going to finish first or on the podium for this main event? Waiting for the grid to drop, and they have dropped. It's a good start. Oh, better than a good start. It's a perfect start according to the video game. We get a bit bumpy up at the inside. Can we take the whole shot over Eli Tomac? Looks like Tomac did pinch the whole shot, but we are into first place, just like he did in 2018 in Anaheim at the same track, of course. A little bit wide there, pushed him out over to the corner. Then a bit of a jump here onto the berms, trying to get him right, because the biggest thing and the biggest difference to MXGP, because you might be wondering, what is the difference between MXGP and what is worth buying? And I'm going to explain to you now the biggest difference between those two video games and the actual main events and races in real life. Now, the way it works in MXGP is you have a big open door track, which is completely wide open. It's going to be massive. It's going to be covering acres and acres of land, where Monster Energy is all built inside stadiums. And inside these stadiums, they're all built and purpose-built and made particularly with a flow in mind. And when I say a flow, that's going to be something you're really going to have to pay attention to when you're playing Monster Energy Supercross 4, is all of the tracks and corners are made of a certain flow. And the way it's going to be explained to you is by each track and each bump will set you up for the next bump. And if you get one of those bumps wrong and mess the flow, you can effectively ruin your entire race. So for example here, we're going to go for a very particular set of berms and jumps here. By making the certain jumps and flicking the bike in certain angles, you will always drop onto the decline of the next jump. You don't want to be landing uphill, you don't want to be landing on it, you want to be landing on the decline of the little hill itself. Tabletop sections here, as always, they just like to change up the pace a little bit, but of course you want to be making sure you're pushing backwards on the analog sticks, pushing back on both of them, let me mention, to make sure the rider weight is pushed backwards, so then you can basically wheel and hop across. Here, you want to be using particular amounts, and of course you can't just, I'm guessing a lot of people will do this, because it is tempting to, and I did the same on MXGP by just falling into a little bit of a rut. You don't want to be full accelerating everywhere, and I tell you what, Cooper Webb is giving me an absolute run for my money here. He's whacking me and pushing me all over the place. But I'm going to show you on this one here. I'm going to be using a little bit of throttle here, full throttle, really push and jump this one. Get into the corner here, full throttle again, line for the next decline. A little bit out of shape there, but we do get the decline eventually. Watch out for the bit of sandbags there. Don't want to be bumping onto those. Little bit of throttle here, little bit of throttle there, bit more, and then get ready to full throttle to jump across. You see, that is the flow that is so imperative in Monster Energy Supercross. And if you get it wrong, well, let me tell you, you're in for a hard time. I was playing this on my own a couple of days ago, or at least one night ago, let's say, and getting those wrong, it just messes the race completely up. As you can see, it's very difficult to follow that particular flow because you need to be perfect. And when other riders are around you and they're pushing you and bumping into you, it's difficult to then know. And now, it's not just one flow, of course. There is different lines you can take, and there is a different flow you can take. As I just crashed there randomly. I think I was a little bit angled on the analog stick, so it pushed me a little bit wide. But each corner, lots of flow, lots of concentration. I did feel like on this one in particular, the 10-minute race that we were doing just flew by because I was so serious and so concentrating on each of the flows. So I didn't want to get it wrong. I wanted to have a good race and hopefully put up something really good for you guys to watch. I don't want to put something where I'm in the back of the grid like I did in the first MXGP race, because that just wasn't as entertaining for us all. And as you can see, I've messed up the flow here, and you're going to see the difference. And I've just actually crashed, come up a bit of a cropper there. And just by missing out on the flow, look how much time I'm losing out on. We're getting absolutely slaughtered. Again, I'm going to mess up the flow here. I'm not going to get it right. I'm going to get stuck on the top of the ledges, and I've just been beaten by 4 riders. It is imperative to get that right. Now, if you know the tracks and if you're experienced, you probably know where to go. So once you do sort of make a mess up, you'll know how to get it back. But as you can see, the flow is gone. We're really struggling to get back into the ghost of a bite there because someone just crashed behind us. But once you find when we get back into the flow of it, excuse the pun, you will see the difference on the riding style. You'll see the difference of the actual lines we take. The lap times will change. It's great. The first impressions of this game, really good so far. I'm definitely going to take a big in-depth look at all this sooner or later. In fact, I'm even going to live stream next Sunday, or this Sunday coming. So bear in mind for that one. I'll update you on a time closer towards it. It will be probably 8 PM GMT on Sunday the 21st of March. So I'll see you there if you want to see more Monster Energy Supercross 4. Of course, the Ride 4 videos will be continuing this week. But for now, I just wanted to take a good, strong look at Monster Energy Supercross 4 and give you my opinions. Because I can honestly say this is a terrific game. I'm really pleased with it so far. The little details, the way the overlay looks, the AI is competitive. Brilliant, brilliant stuff for me. I'm really impressed. We'll concentrate on the rest of this race and hopefully we can catch up, because being in 10th place is not ideal. So I'll see what we do. But again, I messed up the flow in another corner. I did find when I'm on my own, no problems at all. But when I was in the battle and the riders were pumping me and just pushing me out of the way, it did get more and more difficult as this race progressed. But you just have to stare into the face of adversity and spit into its face and try and take it by the horns and really get back into it and say, look, I'm not going to get bogged down against the pack. I'm going to fight back and I'm going to get everything we've got. And that is going to be an example in a minute if I can start getting through and start concentrating again. Because we don't want to be down in 10th place in the main event. I want to be fighting for the podium positions at least. We had a great heat race and I wanted that to replicate here in the main event, but we're going to go wide again. Oh, annoying. It's so bad. It's so difficult to fight back when there's so many riders in your way. You just have to continue to fight, to continue to push forward and just really concentrate on what you're doing. And as you can see, you can tell when you're in the flow because it's natural. It looks good as well. It looks like it should be. And I think that's what this game does a great job of. It does look accurate. It's quite realistic. Still relatively an arcade game compared to like GP bikes, for example, and MX bikes. But still, it's really good. I'm very much impressed. I think I've said that a few times this video so far, so I think you can tell my excitement towards this video game is well and truly deserved. Really, really impressed with it. Definitely. So for the last 3 minutes of this Grand Prix, we're in 12th place. I'm sure we can fight back if we just get into the flow. Do what we can on board this Honda. I think I'm not doing Ken Roxon a good service here. He deserves much, much better. Of course, still using the helmet cam, wiping away that tear off for the goggles. I do love that. It's just a small detail, but honestly, it looks so good. And you can even tell the red tint from the goggles, because of course that's what goggles he wears. I like that little detail. You can change that as much as you want as well. So if you buy different goggles for your rider in the career mode, you will have a different tint. MXGP 2020 also does the same, but it does not fill up with sort of debris and dirt and get grimy as the race progresses. Monster Energy Supercross does a terrific job of that. There's Boggart and Blast are having an absolute carnage infused race in front of us here, pushing each other all the time. So I feel like I'm getting back into the flow somewhat, but still making mistakes here and there. And with 2 minutes remaining, I really need to get a grip of it here. Too much talking, I think. Too much talking and concentrating on the flow and everything else. But so far, not too bad. I think it's a decent first impression, so I think I'm showing you everything I can. As you can see, the big camera up in the screen there. I would prefer if it didn't do that and it actually showed you an actual look of the other riders, but I imagine that'd be a lot to run, because this game ran absolutely perfectly for me. I locked the frame rate at 120Hz on a QHD display, and it was just terrific. Really impressed with how it handled, how it felt. No stutters compared to the likes of Ride 4 and MotoGP. There may be one or two, but there was nothing particularly noticeable. I don't even remember if there was or not, but just in case, I'm going to say there might be. I think every game gets a more or less a little bit of a stutter here and there. Of course, this video is in 60 frames per second, so it's not ideal compared to what I was seeing at 120, but unfortunately YouTube doesn't let you produce anything else that isn't 60 Hz. So for the time being, that's what that is. But so far, as you can see, this lap is really looking good. We got away from... Oh, I shouldn't have spoken. I should not have spoken. Commentary curse. Put us straight into the little sandbags there, the little sponsor bags. But with 45 seconds remaining, we still have a chance. Of course, there will be 2 more laps after the 45 seconds have expired. And be careful, by the way, because there is a massively, massively loud alarm that sounds at the 0 seconds mark. Once that timer expires, it's really loud. It's made me jump a couple of times, let me tell you. I mean, it's helpful though, so then you know you're onto the final 2 laps. But we are in 7th place as it stands, and that is a very good lap for us. That's a 109.056. That is a very fast lap. For reference, in the heat race, I was putting 110s, I think? Yeah, 110.3s, I think it was. So that is a 1.3 seconds quicker than my fast lap in the heat race. Really good stuff here. Nailing the berms now, nailing the jumps into this berm here. There's that noise, it managed to make me jump again. Of course, it won't be that loud for you guys in the video because I don't want to scare anyone. But you did hear the bit of a thud, because that basically is the alarm to sound to say that's going to be it. Now, I don't know if you can hear in the background, it's probably difficult to hear with me talking over, but there is an announcer in the background, and when you do crash, he makes an announcement to say that you have crashed. So, for example, it'll be like, oh, he's doing so well, oh, and he's gone down, and trying to fight with the pack. It's pretty good, and it's pretty accurate. I think, actually, I've just remembered my one downfall with this game, is I had to turn all the music off in the races. I hate racing music. If I'm playing an arcade game like Supermoto Racer, for example, then that's fine. But I don't like music when I'm playing MotoGP, MXGP, GP Bikes or Ride 4, or even Monster Energy Supercross. It just bugs me, and that is even another fastest lap. There's a 108.663. That is a terrific lap for Ken Roxon, and we're now into 5th place. I think we're catching. We could have a podium here, ladies and gentlemen. I'd be very pleased with that one if we can manage it. Doing everything we can on board this Honda, and as you can see, the lines I'm taking now look so much better. It's so accurate. I'm in the zone here. The final lap. Greatness is here. We're destined for something good here. We're going to be on to the tabletop section in a minute. We've done really well on this particular section. Going up to 3rd place in a moment's time. And oh my god, the bike just wheeling. What is that? What was that? Oh, the race. Oh, the flow. Say, I've lost the flow. I've lost all the positions. Okay, that was a disappointing end. So that's going to be pretty much it in a moment's time. We've got another couple of seconds left before we finish this lap. But I tell you what, 6th place won't be too bad if we can remain here in 6th. Providing I don't crash any more times and lose the flow for the next couple of corners. We should be absolutely fine and dandy. So guys, if you have enjoyed this video, please like, comment and subscribe. Hit the notification bell to be alerted to every single DrAce upload. And I will do a live stream Sunday 8 PM GMT. So bear that in mind. But for now guys, thank you very much for watching. Appreciate your time. Ciao for now. Oh hi, didn't quite see you there. Good to see you're still here. If this video didn't quite set your appetite, then why not watch some more DrAce content by clicking the video shown on screen now. Furthermore, if you would like to follow me on social media, you can do so now with the links down in the description. Consider subscribing so you don't miss a single DrAce video.